What is up, fellow bench farmers? Welcome to your daily fantasy football. Hey guys, quick update today. My name is JJT and Commissioner Eric. Just some maybe quick updates. Not much happening, but injuries first. Paul George, big injury today. Looks like the regular season is probably going to be out for the regular season, I would think, with that type of injury.
Yeah, let's wait. Best case hyperextension could be 2 to 3 weeks. It's also basically what's left with the regular season. That's the best case.
Yeah.
He left the arena on, I think, his feet was up and then he was in a cart or something.
Yeah.
So, well, that's
tough luck.
That's tough luck. Yeah.
Tough luck. But there are some good news. Any other injury? Karl Anthony Edwards is questionable already for tomorrow. I don't think we talked about him as much yet. But he got injured a few games ago. But he is questionable tomorrow. We don't know if he's gonna play, but at least it looks like if you are still starting your playoffs, there's a chance that he can still play either this week or hopefully next week. And then we've got some returning players. Karl Anthony-Towns, the biggest name of the returning players, I guess.
Yeah, if he really comes back tomorrow, then those who stashed him, at least if you're still in your quarters, semis, might pay off. Might pay off.
Or if he was dropped in some of the leagues and you are heading towards your semis, then you might want to grab him if you secure the win already for this week. Or it's too early to secure a win this week. But at least if you have an open IL slot, or you're okay to use a move on him, because it's also tough to use a move. Probably Karl Anthony-Towns will have some restrictions.
And
he'll probably won't play back to back. He'll probably have 20 minutes, 25.
Yeah. And here's the deal, no? If you're in your finals week or semis, after tomorrow, the Wolves have a 3-day break. And we mentioned this. They have only one game left in their last 4 days of the week. And that's even, I think, on Sunday. All the way down on Sunday. So if you stashed him, there's no choice. You have to play him. But then you'll have to waste a spot on him. But I guess if he plays well tomorrow, you'll be fine. But if he plays 15, 18, 20 minutes, as Jeremy said, it might backfire. I'm just saying. It's not if you're against a team with Karl Anthony-Towns, don't fret that much. You only have one game left after tomorrow anyways. And tomorrow will be a feel it out kind of a game for him. Yeah. So not really
for sure there will be minutes restrictions.
Yeah, there will be.
I would be surprised if there would be not, but given the time off that he's had, I'm pretty sure he is going to be limited as well. Luka is questionable for tomorrow.
Yep.
I'm not sure if he's gonna play. I think the last game he was also questionable but was ruled out.
He was already practicing for a while. So I mentioned good questionable, bad questionable. There are a lot of questionable people. I consider Luka in the good side. I think it's trending towards a return sometime. I put Kyrie in the bad side. I know the walking boot thing scared people off, but it doesn't really mean he has a bad injury. I think they're being cautious because he was stepped on or something by Dillon Brooks. So they just wanted to make sure that he gets that immobilized and doesn't turn into something. So there is a chance Kyrie also plays. It's not really sure that he's not going to play.
Yeah. Tyrese is in the good questionable side. He already missed 3 games, and that was the promise, or at least the quota that Indiana gave us when they updated his status. Like, he's gonna miss the next 3 games, and the last game was the 3rd game, if I'm not mistaken. So there's a chance that he comes back tomorrow as well. So we'll have to wait for that.
Let's see.
maybe
I'll believe it when I see it. I find it hard to. It's illogical if they bring him back, but I want him to come back. So, yeah, I'll be happy if he does come back.
some of the bad questionable James Harden. Um, this is going to be Indiana. I mean, Philly might be in a tough spot here if you have James Harden, for example, because Philly is somehow winning. They're doing well. They're right there at the top of the standings. So obviously they want a very healthy James Harden heading into the playoffs, and with just a couple of weeks left, pretty much, yeah, they might rest him here and there, play him limited minutes. We're not sure. So, not the perfect time here.
It depends on what they think about the home court advantage, because they're basically third. They're around 3 to 4 games ahead of the fourth place, but they're very close to Boston for the number 2 spot. So, it depends on how much they want it. I would guess they won't really care much for the second seed. So if there's really something wrong with Harden, they will rest him. They will sit him.
Lauri, again questionable for tomorrow. Utah has 4-game week this week, and
yes,
he missed the last game. This is game number 2. I think they have a back-to-back, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they have. Utah has a 4-game week. Utah, Portland, I think in the West, that's the teams you have to watch out for. Utah is still, I think, 10th. They're still in the play-in.
Yeah,
somehow they are in the play-in, and they want to be out. That's the problem. If they play Lauri tomorrow versus Portland, which is another team that looks like is out of it, they might win, or they will win.
We'll talk about Portland in a bit, but the good thing about Utah is that they've got players who are streamable, rosterable. Like if you need certain categories, right? Like Ochai Agbaji and Chris Dunn are probably the 2 players that are widely available in your waiver wire. So yeah, those are key pieces that when you add them, they have 3 more games this week. And if Lauri sits out a couple more, then they're going to be useful. They are going to be useful players.
They are. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Portland, since we're already there, they won't have Jeremy Grant again tomorrow and Anthony Simons. So that leaves them with Dame Lillard, and maybe Nurkic here. They are on that verge of shutting down their season, or at least again they are one of the candidates for silly season fantasy. Remember last year, players like Trendon Watford, Keon, who's that guy? Keon Johnson.
Yeah,
right. Those guys were the silly season contributors for Portland last year, and Watford has been decent the past few games. So I have my eye on that in case you have some leagues wherein playoffs are just starting. I think Watford is the best available player who's gonna probably be helpful.
Yeah,
Shadon Sharp as well.
I streamed Watford already last week. Didn't pay off because he played just okay in his last game, but Cam Reddish is struggling. He didn't even score the last game. But if Simons is out, they're left with no one actually. Really, really tough to see who would step up here. But Shadon Sharp, as you mentioned, I think we'll see Eubanks. I think we'll see Keon Johnson, as you said. Kevin Knox, I think would step up and come out of the doghouse. So Portland is a team to watch. For sure.
For sure. Other players questionable. Kyle Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma said to have some sprained ankle and it doesn't look good.
Yeah.
He played the last game, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, he didn't play today.
He didn't play today,
but he played the game before this. Tomorrow, I don't think he's gonna play as well. If the coach said it's severe enough for him not to play, so it looks like he won't be playing there. The good thing is, you can stash him in your IL in case you're still early in your playoffs. But yeah, beneficiaries here for Denny
Denny,
Avdiha. Yeah,
Denny, Denny. But it's hard to find a Denny right now because I'm sure people were streaming them for the back to back. So even if Kyle was not injured, people would have to pick Denny as one of the better streams because of the back to back. So it's hard to find Denny anymore. But maybe Corey Kispert, if you're looking for threes, maybe still there. But for me, I'd not rather not stream if you didn't get Denny already yesterday. Probably just save it for later.
Save it for the next 2 days after tomorrow, because tomorrow is a full slate, 10-game slate. So yeah, you can choose not to stream there. Besides, if you didn't stream the Washington boys yesterday for today's game, not worth the one game. Especially if you're gonna drop another player who has a game the following day as well. So it's like they just cancel each other out. Unless you need certain categories, like threes, like Kubish said. If you need threes, then you can add Kispert and then throw in maybe your center who's not really performing, or a Detroit guy who's who would only have one game. Like I dropped Weissman after today's game. After yesterday's game, I dropped him already because he only has one game, and just added a player whose stat set I would need. So that's what you can do if you are in your players. Who else? Questionable. DeJounte is sick. Not a big deal, I guess. Scotty Barnes, wrist injury. DeAndre Ayton is out, and that's a bit concerning.
Phoenix, after today, they have 2 more games back to back, so they have 3 in the next 4. So I'm not sure about Ayton's status there. He might not play in all 3, which is tough. No, he didn't even travel with the team. So Biyombo will definitely be somebody to keep an eye on. He has proven, this is something with Biyombo. First few games that Ayton's out, he usually plays well. Then he just fades. Yeah. He fades. So
he did play well the last game. Not as good. He had 3 blocks, I think.
But I think he'll be fine for the next few days. But after that, don't expect much.
Yeah, at this point, when you are in the playoffs, I don't think you're looking for someone you will hold until the finals. Biyombo is someone you will pick up if you need some rebounding, if you need some blocks, then you pick him up. But if you don't need that, because you don't look at winning those categories, then he might not be as useful for you.
7.6 rebounds, 3 blocks the last game. So I mean, decent enough.
If you need blocks, that's a big deal. I mean, if you have matchup where in the blocks are close,
and they have 3 games, as I said, in the 4 games, in the 4 days. If he gets 2 a game, he has 5-6 blocks in those 3 games, and then probably 15 rebounds, 14 rebounds. That's big. That's still big from someone.
Plus good field goal. So yeah, those are some of the players that are questionable. Let's talk about San Antonio for a bit. I posted in my Twitter that San Antonio is a team that you don't like to stream anymore.
Yeah, especially if you have limited moves. You stream one, then you drop them the next day because the others are coming back.
Yeah.
So it's even tough like if you're wasting a move.
Let's give an example. I know Mamu played well today. I was so hesitant to stream him for today, even though I know he's gonna start. He's probably gonna play well, but I was just so hesitant because in the second half of the back-to-back, Zach Collins might come back, the other guys might come back, and his value might dip a bit. That's just my sense. Like it was so difficult for me to add him just because I might get a very bad production this second game.
Yeah, but actually, Mamu's probably the better stream already because even if Zach plays, he gets 20-something minutes. He gets what Biyombo can give you: 7 points, 8 points. If you're lucky, he gets 10 to 12 points. Gets 6-7 rebounds. He can give those low end. At least it's not a 0. Unlike, let's say, Devontae Graham today. If you picked him up, he got 15 points, but shot terribly. And then tomorrow, what Keldon comes back, Vassell comes back, he's not gonna even play. He's not gonna be even in the rotation. So that's a waste of move. Waste of a back to back. In other words, it's a useless back to back. You just use him for one game, and the others like today they were out all their players. Nobody really stepped up. They were just blown out.
Yeah.
Basically, that's how it was. No, nobody aside from Mamu, nobody else did anything. So
that's why I'm staying away from streaming any Spurs players.
Yeah.
It's so hard to predict. Plus, useless. The back to backs are useless. They don't even play them back to back. So yeah. Anything else that we can talk about? Marvin Bagley came back, although Detroit has only one more game left this week. Not an ad, but maybe for next week.
Let's see, because Duran is out. Duran is also out. Livers is out. So it was perfect storm. He played 41 minutes. So I'm not sure by next week is Duran there, is Livers there. We have to see who's gonna be playing by next week.
Yeah. So it's next week's probably going to be silly season. We've been saying this for quite a while. It's not as silly as fast as last year. I think last year we had some names pop up here and there. We're in, some G League players pop up here and there. And maybe next week there's gonna be some that that would play, or some teams that would fully tank. I just realized OKC, who won today, I think they said that they might consider playing SGA back to back once again.
Yeah, that is possible. That could happen.
And
so because
that's going to be a big win for SGA owners.
Yes, he's already a big win. I don't care if he doesn't play back to back.
But he's going to be a bigger win.
Yes, he's already a win, and it's just gonna lead them to championships. That's just what it would mean.
Yeah, I think that's the difference maker for this year. SGA, and if he doesn't play, if he does indeed play the back to back, I think they have one or two more, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, two more.
Right, so that's a big deal in fantasy playoffs as well, because look at the numbers that he gives you today. Still, he didn't shoot the ball well today, I think, but still solid across the board. And that might remove the stigma of him being in a tanking team as well. Anyway, that's it for Quickie. And it's a slower Quickie, these slower activities these past few games, because some of the playoffs have ended. Not much going on, no major silly season players. Like some of the names in the silly season list aren't new as well. So yeah, that's it. We'll see you guys again tomorrow for our Daily Fantasy Quickie. Subscribe, like, and follow us. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.